show of hands, how many of y'all stayed in a Hilton hotel? All right, how about a Hyatt hotel? All right, awesome. Well, we all know that both companies are both one of the highly ranked and leading hotel brands nationally and globally. But the real question is, which one is the better company, or which hotel is the sweeter life? Both companies strive to be the best and the top choice of the guest. Well, you all are about to see for yourselves. Oh, sorry, yeah. After much research throughout the semester, Michael Galindo and I, Meili West, are happy to share similarities and differences we found between the two companies. These comparisons between the two will range from each of their company history, products and services they have to offer, their company culture, and their corporate social responsibility. From there, we will then reveal which one we think is the sweet one. Let's go ahead and have Michael start us off with the history of each company.
Okay, so the founder of Hilton Hotels was Conrad Hilton, and he was, before he got his start in the hotel business, he was a state legislator, and he tried to make his fortune after that in banking, and then he failed, so he looked to the hotel industry, which he saw was starting to gain some traction, and so he decided to start his first hotel in Cisco, Texas, and he called it the Meili, and he found success there. So after a few years, he moved to Dallas, Texas, and opened up the first hotel to bear the actual Hilton name, which was a high-rise right here in Dallas, Texas. And from there, they kept growing, and they've grown to be one of the largest full-service brands in the world. So now I'll pass it to Meili.
So here we have Hyatt, founded by Jay Pritzker in 1957 in the Los Angeles, California area. It's kind of interesting, the history between his and Conrad Hilton's, because it seems like Hilton had to make the effort for himself, whereas Jay Pritzker, he came from like a very rich family. Because he had an easier start or better support with establishing Hyatt, because Jay Pritzker, yeah, like I said, he came from a wealthy family who successfully invested in a variety of businesses. And through these family business connections, Hyatt Hotels was established in 1957. When he bought the Hyatt house from a guy named Hyatt Von Den. From there, the company began to grow and expand throughout the years, and is now one of the world's top operators of luxury hotels and resorts. So, like, he believed in business executives want quality hotels near airports, basically summed up everything. We had a revenue of $4.4 billion. Employees today include over 96,000. And there's more than 10 distinct hotel brands and 600 properties. Moving on to the products and services. For Hyatt, there was like a total of 4 luxury lines. So it's categorized into 4 categories of luxury lines, full service lines, selective service, and resort and timeshares. So the luxury lines include like Park Hyatt, Andaz, Grand Hyatt, which offer, and all these offer upscale experiences in premier or holiday vacation cities. The full-service brands include such as Hyatt Hotels and Hyatt Centric, which are smaller and located next to major business centers for business travelers. Select service brands include like Hyatt Place, which caters more like to families. And then there's the resorts and timeshares line, which such as Hyatt Zolera and Hyatt Ziva, Hyatt Residence Club, which target high-end customers. So to kind of sum it all up, you could basically say Hyatt seems to me like their primary target to kind of aim towards business, rich, upscale travelers or families.
So Hilton Worldwide, again, has separate categories for their hotel lines. They have the luxury as well, and these are the Waldorf Astoria and Conrad hotels, and these are going to be really personalized experiences in more exotic areas. And then they have their full service lines, which include Embassy Suites, DoubleTree, Curio, and Hilton hotels. And these are essentially the Hilton standard. They are upscale experiences, but they're not going to be in like really specific locations as the luxury are. They're more widespread, and then they have their focus service line, which includes Hilton Garden Inn, Hampton, True by Hilton, Homewood Suites, Home2, and those are basically the more cost-effective ones for families and people just stopping for one night. It's not going to be as like expensive, and those are the most widespread locations. I believe they have over 1,000 locations across the world, and they also have vacation homes and resorts similar to Hyatt.
All right, moving on to company culture. So the company's purpose was to care for people so they could be their best, said by the CEO, Mark Hoplomazanian. Human engagement is the core principle of caring for people. Healthcare and wellness benefits are included, subsidized meals during work days, retirement saving plans, and 529 plan for children's education. These are like benefits for employees. I also took a screenshot of the overview review of Hyatt from Glassdoor. So as you can see, it has an overall review of a total of like 13,000 reviewers, with an overall ranking of 3.9 stars out of 5. 80% recommend to a friend, whereas 92% of the employees approve of the CEO. So seems to be like it's in good hands with a good company culture. Also here, I found some surveys online for the company culture where here it shows the employee ratings where like 95% of the employees say enjoy the great challenges, 97, great atmosphere, the great rewards, great pride, great communication, the great bosses. Here is like the recognition of, they were ranked as one of the greatest places to work or for women in 2015. They were also one of the greatest places to work for millennials as of 2015, and it was one of the 50 best workplaces for diversity in 2015. Also here is an overview of like the overall pros of the company and the overall cons of the company that I found in Glassdoor. So a lot of people said lots of pros include like great training, great benefits, great spirits. The health benefits and free hotel nights were awesome perks, especially since you get 12 free nights. Great people, easy work, especially if you are a people's person. Again, good benefits and great company with fantastic leadership. The overall cons that were included were such like stuff like work-life balance is sometimes hard to maintain, long hours, not much support from upper management, and there's low pay for some of the jobs there. And it's open 24 hours, like 24/7, so evening and holidays are usually required as well. So that's that.
So for Hilton, one of the main things I found was a quote from the CEO, Christopher Nassetta, which said, "The primary thing I do and the most important thing I do is really set the tone for the culture." And so that really shows that having a good, positive company culture is really important to the company. And they also have a lot of open communication throughout the organization, so everybody knows what's going on and it's not too secret, and it keeps everybody feeling like they're contributing. And they also have industry-leading parental leave policies and GED assistance programs for employees, which just keep the employees happy and more likely to stay. And I also included the Glassdoor reviews, so they have 3.6 out of 5 stars. 71% of people would recommend the company to a friend, and they also have a high approval rating for the CEO. So it shows that everything right here contributes to just a positive culture and people wanting to stay working for the company for a good amount of time.
All right, then moving on to the corporate social responsibility.
So one of the reports I found was their Earth Hour 2015 activities, which was various things across their 4,000 locations. So they would do like candlelight dinners or just shut out all the lights, like displaying like the Hilton name or something like that just to save energy. And they also won an award from the U.S. Chamber of Commerce Foundation for their Best Environmental Stewardship Program, and they won that for, basically they had a program that tracked their environmental impact over like 200 different indicators, and that shows that they're willing to really dedicate money to keep track of their responsible, just have like sustainable programs in their company and make sure they're not making too much of a negative impact on like the environment. So yeah.
And then for Hyatt, they have their own code of business conduct and ethics which basically it's a guide that expects all the employees and executives to adhere to. It focuses on people, communities, and planet. Such projects include the following, such as they made $11 million in charitable contributions to literacy programs and youth career readiness. By 2020, they hope to reduce energy, greenhouse gas emissions, and water usage by 25% each. They value diversity and inclusion in the workforce. As I say, people are the key driver. And then here are some like awards that they won and credentials. So like you have the LEED Silver, which is certified at multiple sites. They won the IPONO Award for Excellence in Sustainability in 2015. They won the 4 Globe EcoTel Award, Keep America Beautiful National Awards, Pisani and Child Prostitution and Trafficking Award, and Women for Women Internationals, which was a $1 million partnership. So all in all, which one is the sweeter life? It was honestly really hard to come to, but if we had to narrow it down to come to one, we said Hilton. And the reason why we said Hilton was because Hilton seems more inclusive of all their target audience, because as you can see, like go back to the products and services, they were able to like offer upscale services, but then they also had some, maybe not as upscale, but upscale enough to where it was at an affordable price. Whereas what you saw with Hyatt, they primarily aim towards like I said earlier, like business, upscale, rich family businesses. So, and then was there something you wanted to add to that as well?
Yeah, Hilton also, they have over like 4,000 locations as opposed to Hyatt. They only have about 600 properties across the world. So the fact that they're able to maintain like a good company culture throughout like a much larger number of locations just shows that they really know what they're doing with their business. And yeah.
So it was hard, but when we came narrowing it down, we just said, why not? Let's go for Hilton. So that concludes it. Thank you all.